Hello YouTube. If you watch the Trapper playthrough, you know I promised you one final video. Going over a couple of the things that you either didn't see or might have missed if you didn't watch my stream. So the first point of business is, if you recall at the beginning of the Spirit playthrough, I said, oh, maybe I'll make a video compilation of all the deaths in the game that you could have. And after getting the achievements for getting killed and stuff, it's not worth it. You basically get one line of dialogue and then you die. Like, you saw some of them already in a Wraith's playthrough, kind of in the compilations, and you saw some of the Trapper killing you things. He had, a witty one-liner, like, you could call that was a bear trap and I'm the bear. You die. Like Spirit's playthrough, if you say, you're not a killer at the end, she kills you at the end. Wraith's playthrough, you say, no, I can't do this, I'm not a killer, you're not a killer either, and he's like, spare me the platitudes, I'll show you what a killer I can be, kills you at the end. Huntress was actually the hardest to get killed by. The only way I found was on Wraith's playthrough, going for his bell, and when you break in her cabin and she catches you and pins you to the floor with her axe against your throat. You say, oh, it's just a prank, and we went along our way. But if you say, please spare me, and she's like, what do you think happened when the elk that went after my mom, found her? And you can either say it stabbed her, at which case it says like, you couldn't even finish talking before she kills you, and you're dead at the end. And if you're like, it showed her mercy, and like she gets a tear in her eye thinking of this scenario, and then she lets you go, and you go back to doing the hunt for the bell. So it's kind of amusing, but not worth a full video just for that. Now, there are some other scenes that I could make a video on, but I'm not going to. You've seen me get the good endings for all of the killers. You've seen me get the friendship forever ending, but there's also the heartbreak endings. Where, at the very end, you're like, I love you, and you're like, well, I don't love you. And for people who know me in real life, I find it difficult doing bad things in games. Okay, like, yes, I can play DVD and I'm a killer, hunting survives, whatever. But like when it gets emotional and stuff, like I'm too sympathetic, too empathetic. I don't know. But I mean, like, you saw how much like I was like, no, when you're being mean, rejecting Wraith, or when we did Spirit's playthrough, and then on the next playthrough, I'm like, I'm sorry, Spirit, I don't mean to break your heart. And like these endings, they're just brutal because they're like. You're like, God, you think someone could ever love you? And like the scenes, them like sobbing afterwards after you break their heart. I can't do it. If you want to, see those endings, you can watch another streamer who's like, ha ha ha. But I can't do it. So wait, you say, why am I telling you about these if I'm not going to do them? Like, I could just not make this video and talk about it. Why am I bringing it up? Well, because there's a little something that's revealed in all of the heartbreak endings. Get to in a second. First, this clip comes from after you've broken Huntress's heart, and it's the next day. Power surges through you. It's intoxicating.
Dwight, Claudette, another Bloody Mary. Extra blood this time, please.
Mary has almost no blood left. Could you please try another drink?
Fine.
Tom Collins.
Blood.
The soft waves, the warm sun, the fairly competent service. You could get used to this life. You roll over onto your back to even out your tan when you feel something in your pocket. Your treasure hunt items. You gather them all together in your lap. Place them in the air.
The air?
You do just as asked, holding up each object in midair and letting go. To your surprise, they all float there, hovering before you. The items begin to spin in the air faster and faster until they disappear into a swirl of darkness. And from the darkness emerges the entity.
The entity?
Is there an echo? Show some respect, Silver. The entity is the cosmic being who created all of this. You, this island, me even, I assume.
You thought I'd let you go? That I'd let you float around eating bonbons all day like some kind of royalty? Your work here isn't finished. And you shan't get off this island until I'm through with you. My pet project. Killer of killers' hearts.
Yeah, so, I said at the very beginning, I'm like, oh, the ocean's the entity, but, it's not just that the ocean represents the entity or is like the stand-in for it. No, the ocean is literally the entity, and, the endings all kind of vary on how it's responding to you. I like that one because it's, it kind of shows that, like, yeah, survivors might be at the very bottom of the food chain in this place, and killers are above them. But, even as a killer, the entity is still the one that's, it grabs your chain and pulls on your collar when it wants. The killers are not in control here. So I kind of like that. Yeah, like in, Wraith's ending, you're basically a horrible person to Wraith, and, like, you and the entity go off to watch Trickster's concert. And in Spirit's playthrough, it yells at you how you aren't in control and it is. And I don't mean like you, the character, the killer. I mean you, the player playing this game, how you are not in control. So that's kind of amusing. But so yeah, and it also kind of shows it's like, well, when we started, it's like, well, what's the plan for you? It's like, oh, to find love. Well, then, as you play through the games and the playthroughs, it's like, oh, well, okay, I guess the path it was sending you on was to be a killer. Well, except now this kind of shows that maybe you're not just being a killer, you're being like the killer. It's like, well, I'm feasting off of the despair and hopelessness of the survivors, but I need some more. I want to feast off the despair and hopelessness of the killers too. So, it kind of sends you in to be the killer of killers' hearts. And which kind of makes sense. It's, it gives more depth because it's the ocean, to when the ocean was telling you it's like there's not one right path, there are many right paths, which when you first see it's like, oh, okay, that means I can date any of the killers. But, maybe it's more than that. It's, yes, becoming a killer is good enough for the entity, but, there's more right paths. You becoming the one that kills the killers, metaphorically. Now, you see that, you're like, okay, well, that's really interesting, but that's also not what we saw at the end of the Trapper's playthrough. Where's that? Yes, I'm getting to that. Thank you for asking. Because it turns out there's not just that you get, the one ending where you hooray, you romance the killer, and the other, oh, you broke their heart. As, you might have seen if you freeze framed and were reading the text or whatever at the Trapper one, there's also a scene once you have romanced every killer, and you get it after you do your 4th romance. Presumably, if you loaded up another save file and did that, it would do it as well. But, you complete your romance, and then you go into another little bonus.
My. 4 successful romantic endings, each with a different killer. You're quite the little love machine, aren't you? I must say, it's not that I didn't see this coming. As the entity, I've seen all of this coming. What? The ocean is the entity? That's right. But wait, there's more.
Really dragging it out now, aren't you, entity? Or should I say, me? What? The ocean is the entity is the narrator too?
How can that be, is what you're probably wondering.
Actually, I feel like I've always...
Shush!
No, like, you can look at the first stream, I've always...
Shush up right now.
What?
You've captured a measly 4 killers' hearts, and now you get to talk over me? I think not. Do you even know how many killers there are in this franchise? 4 is just the tip of the iceberg. Heck, I'm working so hard in the background while you were playing this game. At least half a dozen new expansions probably came out. I've got killers coming from every dimension, in every direction all the time. And I love them all. They're all my special little conquests. All of their cold hearts linked directly to me. I don't capture them and bring them here because I hate them, or because I want to torture them. Oh no. Being added to my collection is a gift. It's more than that. It's a prize for being so amazing. It's an act of love, which is what I wanted to talk to you about. Clearly, no one loves my killers more than me. That's impossible. But I see you. You're certainly showing that you love them quite a lot. More than anyone else I've ever met, it's you who loves these killers the most. And I love that you love them. So much so that it's time you were rewarded. Now, I'm not surprised. This has all been part of my plan from the very start. It's not an accident that we're all here in a tropical resort setting. It's very much on purpose, in fact. We both deserve a reward. This world is my creation. Every palm frond over your head, every grain of sand beneath your feet, every ice cube in this drink I'm holding, I created it all. It's not just the perfect setting for a dating show style event, or an excuse to put my killers in sexy outfits. You're welcome. It's also a vacation for me. What I'm getting at is, I need a break. Sure, I'm everywhere all the time, so in a way I'm always having a little vacation. But by the same token, I'm always working too. You can't be everything and also not be everything. It's quite exhausting. Do you understand? Probably not, but that's okay. They say practice makes perfect. Well, here in this never-ending eternity, you're going to have enough time to practice with your new job that you'll eventually be very good at it. And I'll eventually be sitting with my feet up. No, I don't have feet, it's just an expression. Enough of this mysterious act. Let me cut to the chase. You expected some sort of reward for capturing the hearts of 4 fearsome killers, and you weren't wrong too. Now it's time to get what you came here for. You are to be my protege. Eventually. For now, I hereby proclaim that you have been promoted to the role of Junior Deputy Entity. That's right. And with a bit of hard work, a few hundred years creating pain and suffering, and the completion of 4 more love routes in the yet-to-be-announced sequel to Hooked on You 2 Cold-Hearted, which obviously will be at a ski resort, you'll be Senior Deputy Entity in no time at all. No, this isn't an official announcement. Please, don't get ahead of yourself. Though, if you want to be sure that there is a sequel, you should definitely leave this game a positive review. What I'm saying is, I see you. I see the love you're putting out in the world. I see the tender attention you've given my killers. I see all the hard work you're doing as a member of my community of freaky, killer-loving weirdos, and I appreciate it deeply. I consider you more than just a fan. I consider you my friend. A friend who is now, by result of your new title, which you are actually not allowed to say no to, a member of my staff of loyal employees. So get back to work.
Yeah, so about that multiple paths being correct, you're like, okay, becoming a killer is my real goal here. And then, oh, actually being the killer of killers is my real goal. And then oh wait, becoming the entity's protege is the new goal here. And it just keeps getting deeper. Where does the madness end? And I'm going to tell you now, I don't have a recording of it, but yes, there is a scene if you break all of their hearts that plays on top as well. I wasn't recording the breaking heart scenes. I was just doing them for those sweet, sweet achievements. But it's, similar in that it's a scene that plays afterwards, but instead of becoming the entity's protege, in this one, it's telling you how, like, you've been so horrible to all these people and you're breaking their hearts and stuff. And it's like, well, like, despair is great and hopelessness is great, but you know what's another great negative thing to feed off of? Heartbreak. So that's right, we're announcing Dead by Daylight 2 Heartbreak, and you're gonna be the first killer in that game, the Casanova. How you get people to offer up their hearts for you and then you eat them. And then, like, shut up, I'm still working on it. So, it's kind of a, well, you could be a killer or the killer of killers or the entity's protege, or you could be the new killer in the new totally real DVD sequel we're doing. But that's not all. There's a reason this video's still going and I haven't gone to my end card yet. Because, you thought we were done with the layers. No, this is a 7-layer bar of video. Or a game that I'm just commenting on. Whatever. You've gotten all 4 killers' romances. You get all 4 killers' heartbreaks. And there's another special little ending. So now you're like, okay, that's all well and good. But also, didn't the title of this video say something about Trickster? I'm getting to him. Don't worry about it. Because you see, the thing is, after you've romanced all 4 killers, and after you've broken all 4 killers' hearts, there's another special Trickster ending. Wow. You really did it. You've completed all 8 individual endings. You've seen ruthless killers go gaga for your love and slip into despair when you've taken it away. You've been made the entity's protege and the next killer in Dead by Daylight franchise. How are you even supposed to do both of those things? I don't know. Let's not get bogged down. The truth is, yeah, sure, this has been an amazing adventure and you've enjoyed every second of it. But was it everything you wanted? No, it wasn't. I know what you want, and I'm prepared to give it to you. You want me. Well, get ready to have me. You've earned me. You're gonna have me all to your dirty little self. That's right, the Tricksters is yours via this adorable collectible keychain. Oh, what? You thought we took a whole other plot line beneath the most difficult achievement in the entire game? Well, hey, maybe if you were to get all 8 endings 8 times each. Oh, Trickster, you little Trickster. Congratulations, and thanks for playing. Okay, so yeah, there is a Trickster ending, but the Trickster ending is being like, there's no Trickster ending. So, it's funny, and I really wish that charm existed in DBD, because that's a really cute charm that I'd totally put up as a killer on the thing. Like, oh, little chibi Trickster. But wait, you say. I'm like, no, please stop this meta-analysis that you're doing, theoretical person. You're like, no, I'm not going to. Your title said Trickster endings, plural. Yeah. It turns out, as I was doing my hunt for those sweet, sweet achievements, there is there's another ending, I guess you could call it. So, maybe have a look at that too. All right. We are here in the Trapper's playthrough on his first date in his secret cave. Anyway, here we are, my beautiful cave, the only truly great place on this entire island. Welcome. Please, make yourself at home. But not really. This is my home and don't you forget it. But please relax. This is where I come to get away from the screams, to hear other screams. No, I'm just kidding. This is a peaceful place, so long as no one arrives uninvited. And since I invited you here, let me just say, stay away from the water, far away. You understand? Because it's a literal trap and I'll die? Because it's a literal trap and you'll die. No silence should last this long unless Wraith is around. Hey, seriously, don't go in the water. Even more importantly, though, stay away from the cave entrance and don't ask me why. You got it? Don't tell me what to do. Glad to see you have a spine. And we'll continue to have one for at least a little while longer. I didn't expect that, though. Interesting. Very interesting. Maybe even hot. Anyway, I don't really know how to reward people who make me happy since no one makes me happy, so I guess you can have a gold coin. He sure does love handing these things out. I doubt they really mean anything, though. These little collectibles rarely amount to anything. Now that you know what not to do around here, I can finally get to know you. No, actually you can't, because at exactly this moment, Trickster shows up. Hello there, you sexy thing. Not you, Trapper. I'm talking to this beautiful specimen over here. Why are you here? And I don't just mean in my secret spot. Why are you literally here on this island? Obviously for the same reason we all are. I think. Maybe. Actually, I have no idea why we're here. Better ask Wraith what's going on. He probably has all the answers. Anyway, I was saying something. Oh yeah. I want to find love. Same as you. Oh, sounds like a legit reason. What do you say? You want to find love with me? Tell me, why should I? Suddenly, Trickster turns very serious. His pop star persona is gone. I can promise you something Trapper can never give you. Love. Trapper only wants someone he can use and manipulate for his own gain. A loyal lapdog he'll discard the second he finds a bigger, stronger, meaner puppy he can abuse without fear of being bitten. But I want nothing more than to love someone and to be loved by them. Not because I'm a celebrity, but for who I am as a person. I don't even know what real love is. No one can see past the person my manager wants them to think I am. But I'm more than a pretty face and a whole lot of skill, and my heart is kind and unburdened by the moral trappings of money, fame, and power, no matter how the world is meant to see me. Trapper doesn't need, nor even really want, you for you, but that's all I want. You and nothing else. Now what do you say? Will you come with me? I mean, except that you like to torture people to death and record their screams for your music, but you know, sure, that sounds great. I'm totally into it. You throw your arms around Trickster. I'm yours, Trickster. Take me away. Okay, look, you fell for it. This is a little joke here about how we knew you'd be so horny for Trickster that you'd sacrifice your entire playthrough to switch tracks now at this seemingly random moment. Ha ha ha, joke's on you. We put him in this game because he's an absolute fox, but you can't really pursue him. I mean, come on, he's called the Trickster for crying out loud. And this cave belongs to the Trapper. Get it? Tricked, trapped, a real 1-2 combo punch to the groin. So it's off to horny jail for you, which in this case is restarting from the beginning of Trapper's date. Don't make this mistake again, you big horny dummy. Try again. What do you say? Will you come with me? Yes, Trickster. You throw your arms around Trickster. I'm yours, Trickster. Take me away. Oh, come on. Are you messing with me right now? When are you gonna figure out you can't choose the Trickster? He's not even supposed to be on this island. He has his own island. It's not like you have to do this one little path repeatedly to unlock him to get to his island. or we're just messing with you and that's exactly what you have to do. No, I'm just kidding, it's not. Don't make this mistake again, you big horny dummy. Let's try something again. You throw your arms around Trickster. I'm yours, Trickster. Take me away. It's not that I'm surprised to see you here again. I'm just disappointed. There is no Trickster path. Did you hear that? Believe it, there is no Trickster path. Don't make this mistake again, you big, horny dummy. Trickster, I'm yours. Take me away. Listen, do you know how many other features we had to cut from the game to continue following up on this silly gag? Oh, you think you're in too deep? Think about us. Think about all the hard-working artists, the writers, the engineers who worked tirelessly to pay off this gag. Just so what, you could get some achievement? Well, there isn't one. There's no hidden Trickster nudes, there's no special scene, no nothing. It was all a waste. Now don't make this mistake again, and you're still a big horny dummy. I'm yours, Trickster. Now you're just making me mad. Come back here one more time, and I'm gonna do something drastic, you hear me? We are talking for real. The nuclear option. We're talking scorched hard drives, barren wastelands of lost data, save files decimated, the end times. So stay away. And once more, do not make this mistake again. You big, horny dummy. So what I think the narrator was saying is, Trickster, I'm yours. Take me away. You just don't learn. Okay, fine. Well, now you have to go back to the very, very beginning. And if you come this way again, you're gonna get the exact same result. Deleting data, rebooting, see ya in horny jail. And we get the achievement Mind Eraser. Now, since OBS isn't showing it, it just quit my game. The reason you're seeing black is because I'm not in Hooked on You anymore. I was kicked to the desktop. Let's just load that back up, shall we? Okay, we got the behavior logo. Up there's PSYOP. Oh, Akupara Games. What a nice logo. Warning, photosensitivity, epilepsy, you know. Make sure you get your photosensitivity and epilepsy warning. Let's load our game. There isn't one. The narrator wasn't lying. They went full nuclear. They wipe all of your game data and kick you out of the game. So maybe next time, listen to the narrator. Yep. It's all gone. The narrator wasn't lying. We've been wiped. And that about does it for our Hooked on You playthrough. I hope that you have enjoyed this game as much as I have. You know, I came into it being like, well, is this going to be just, you know, a funny one-time stream thing that, you know, I make just sort of a 30-minute compilation video out of to get a couple jokes. And, you know, then the first time, like, oh, this is actually funnier than I expected. It's kind of fun as a game by itself. And, you know, beyond that, then I wanted to do more and see the other people. I wanted to see their stories. I wanted to know more about the lore of what's going on. And, well, we learned about the lore of what's going on. Sort of, you know, as much as you ever learned anything about the entity and its cosmic interactions. But, yeah. I had a blast with this. I hope you had a blast with this. So I will see you next time. But till then, I'm just gonna be here basking in horny jail.